afternoon. Welcome to Talking Horses. He is the Big A Anthony Stabile. I'm Andy Serling. As we kick off the penultimate week here at the Big A.
Ooh, SAT word on a Thursday.
Yeah. Penultimate is considered an SAT word?
I have a pen.
Is that an SAT? Penultimate? That's what we're reduced to in life?
I don't know if we're reduced to that, but I would imagine. Listen, they let you take the SAT with your cell phone now. You use a calculator and stuff. So.
Yeah, they changed the scoring. The whole thing's unfair.
The whole thing, yeah. It's a Fugazi. It's a big Fugazi now.
Anyway, nice to be back in action. Beautiful day. Going to be in the 80s today. There's a chance of some rain moving through. According to Dark Sky, which in watching Dark Sky over the last few years, you know, because I don't know if I used darksky.net, because it has the wind, and I use it for the track trend, so I started using it. I find that they are the most accurate. Nobody's.
Dark Sky is you on off the turf races.
They're just they just seem to mostly when it says it's not going to rain, you know, and they have it right if it's raining, and it just seems, and they have like, you know, 1/8 of an inch between 7 and 8 o'clock, which is nothing. So
yeah,
it won't affect us.
Nothing happens.
So I mean, listen, anything can happen in the weather, but it doesn't seem like a story. And we have 9 to talk about. Got a pick 6 carryover. Oh, do we have a pick 6 slate, guys? We forgot to mention that. If we do, we can shut the You're unbelievable. I mean,
I came to play today.
Claude left. As soon as the slate went up, Claude had enough.
Well, Claude forgot about the carryover, and he's going to go put a ticket together.
You can't blame him.
You don't want to hear our nonsense.
That starts in race number 4, which changed a lot when the heavy favorite. Charles, you can leave, Claude. We'll miss you, but you can leave.
Well, we'll handle it.
You guys don't know Claude. Claude is a very integral part of Talking Horses. That's race number 4, our 9-race card. You can play it through NYRA Bets. You should play it through NYRA Bets. Head over to NYRABets.com. Use the promo code STAKES200. We will match the $200 of your initial deposit.
You know what Louis Saez is saying today? I really hope I hit this pick 6.
Yeah. He needs it. He had a bad ride yesterday on that Grand Motion Euro in the 6th race at Keeneland. He's made no attempt to ever get the horse covered up. Maybe he ran off on him a little. I don't know. And I like Louis, but that wasn't. Anyway, what else do we have? I didn't bet. The horse was 2-1. This is not a grouse.
Would you hit the picks 5 3 times at Keeneland yesterday?
It was only, I assume only one person hit it, right? That must be the whole pool.
Of course.
Crazy results there yesterday. $50 or more at Aqueduct and Turf Paradise.
TP.
Do you have any Turf Paradise picks up?
I don't.
Anthony, you're getting lazy.
Why would you even have to put that into the universe, Andy? If my phone goes off,
no, if that ever happens, you're going to do them. You're going to blame me. You're going to blame me for that.
Exactly.
Anyway, $15 opt in. Always opt in. Very simple to opt in at NYRABets.com. We have a contest. Saturday contest, $300 buy-in, cash seat prizes.
Less than 29 hours.
That's the penultimate one of those until we return.
Here we go.
The fall, but we'll be having them at Belmont. Do not fear, we'll have them at Belmont as well. We also have Belmont Stakes tickets on sale. Get them while they last. They're going fast. Don't want to miss out. It's going to be such a great day of racing. This is really such a terrific time in racing. You know, when we're back in the turf here, and you know Keeneland's going, and the racing starts improving, and you're heading towards the Triple Crown. And of course, this is, you know, this is sort of a big day before we head to Saratoga a month after that, almost exactly a month after that. Anyway, we also have the America's Day at the races. 1 to 6 today, just covering the races here at Aqueduct. All right, race numero uno. So with Spiked coming out, it's either the Chad Brown entry, which is currently 1 to 9, or the Shug McGaughey first-time starter. And you and I have gone to the Chad Brown entry. If you have something insightful to say, please share it.
I don't actually.
No?
No.
Nothing to say?
A couple of quietish pedigrees. The solid one is a 4-year-old debuting. 1A, No One's Laughing, is a 3-year-old.
The second dam of the plain one is better. It is pretty good, actually.
Una Mac Cool, was that
Yeah, that goes back into that family. Yeah, the Bobby, the Windcrafty lady.
Yep,
I think
yep.
That was
okay.
She was very good. I mean,
she was.
The horses she's produced. Graham Hall's in that family.
Bobby Barbera
yeah.
did something with Windcrafty lady. She won, I think, the A other then. And then he went to Steve Adika, who had Mike Smith's book at the time, and tried to get a call. And Mike Smith said, Adika said, I had never seen this before and I haven't seen it since. Adika said, I'm not here that weekend. I'm riding one for Leo up at Rockingham. That's how long ago this was.
Well, it was by the New Hampshire Sweepstakes.
Yeah. And he said,
I think 4 Stars All-Star won that, right?
My dad went there with Julio Pazua, by the way. Julio Pazua with a GoFundMe. We'll talk about that if we have time at the end of the show. Yeah, and Bobby Barbera said, all right, I'll wait for the next one. And I looked at him, I said, you're going to wait to run in the 2 other end
For Mike Smith.
for Mike Smith? He goes, yeah, it's Mike Smith.
He could have gotten any number of guys to go 6 wide. Anyhow.
Well, she was a speedball too, so it didn't matter what she was.
Wait. I have
this
like
guy this guy went fire into that. I love it.
I have an Anthony-like story in this race.
Really?
Well, it's actually a funny because it's the let's make a deal question. I heard one of the entry can run. I have no idea which one it is. People will assume that it's the one with Jose Ortiz. I don't know. Maybe that's true, but it's not like Chad doesn't ride Manny Franco on a lot of horses. I have no idea. You know the let's make a deal paradox, right?
You've explained it, but if I'm being honest, I only have to pay attention to you.
The let's make a deal paradox is a great thing. It's people that don't know it. You go and let's make a deal, and you're in the final thing, and you've got 3 to pick, and you pick door 2. And after you pick door number 2, Monty Hall, because I'm old and we remember Monty Hall.
Now it's Wayne Brady.
I didn't know that, but I'm proud that you do, and I'm not surprised you do.
It's on before Price is Right.
Erudite gentleman that you are. Monty Hall says to you, okay, you've picked 2. It's not in door 1. So the question becomes, do you keep number 2? Do you switch to number 3? Or does it not matter? And the answer is, regardless of what some people may think, you always switch. Because you know that one of them contains a thing of squid.
Correct.
But if beforehand they said to you, you could have 2 doors as a group or 1, you'd say, well, I'll take the 2, whoever they are. So it doesn't matter that Monty tells you it's not in 1,
right,
because you know it's not in one of them. It could be 1 or 3. It doesn't matter. So you always want to go into the group that was 2 out of 3. And it's kind of the same thing with entries. And it's one of the reasons that entries are always bad value. Because both of them are taking some money in some respect. Now, they're first-time stars. It's a little bit different.
Right, it's a little different.
But you know that behind stall number 1 of these 2 stalls probably lies a horse that's not that good. So the question is, do you want to go in? Well, it's early. They're not going to be this price. I mean, the one who's got pedigree is Shug's horse. They paid $1.4 million.
Yeah.
Horse a half to Salty, who finished second to Abel Tasman in the Acorn. She won the 8 Bells, I want to say. It was a very nice runner for Marcassia. Very nice runner.
Nice filly.
I mean, that's a lot of money. I know it's Medaglia d'Oro, but that one, so I'm not going to be shocked when Shug's horse can win here. I mean, I'll be interested to see what price they end up landing. And I'll tell you what, if they end up at like 1 to 2 or 2 to 5 and, I don't know, 3 to 1 or 5 to 2, that probably is more an indication that Shug's horse isn't going to win. The one thing about Shug's firsters in these races, they all take money when they run. They seem to know when they can run. See what happens in the first race. But one of them can run. I'm like Monty Hall. So love the Odd. Do you think of the Odd Couple episode?
Of course.
It's a great episode.
Let's make a deal, Monty. Let's make a deal.
Take the envelope. Race number 2 features the, you'd be gambling it up. You'd ask if you could flip for. Are you kidding me? Race number 2 is the return of one of Anthony's favorites. Anthony Stabile, a huge fan of Live Your Beast Life, will go back to 2 back at Saratoga when the horse was finally dropped down. This is a good example of first time for a tag, right?
Yeah.
How horses will wake up sometimes first time for a tag. First time his horse was in a claiming race, it was an off the turf race. He found his form. I gotta tell you, I'm gonna show you a stat afterwards for what it's worth. Linda claimed his horse in October, comes back 6 months later, in for 14. He might win because the others. It's just he's very tough.
He may have found the right bunch.
It's not like his form, other than this one race in an off-the-turf sealed track, is anything to write home about. Of course he's the horse to beat in here. Linda's numbers in these situations are that good. For what it's worth, off a claim, she's 3 for 19, a 96 ROI, 12 did hit the board, but it's sort of copacetic with those kind of numbers in general. And that's an SAT word too, by the way, copacetic.
Copacetic?
Yeah, it's a good word. I like copacetic. Anyway, you and I are going to pick again. I think you picked somebody else against the source too, right?
I picked Wild Union.
Wild Union?
I did.
Wow, it's been a while since you picked a Chad Summers horse.
Yeah, the Wild Union was useful is the wrong word for the prep.
What about the last race?
Listen, you don't ordinarily don't want horses off the now retired. I can't even say it with a straight face, Peter Miller.
You mean, are you suggesting that this horse, that Peter Miller might come back? He never said he was retired. Didn't he say he was taking a break? Yeah, I don't think he ever said he was retired.
The hiatus.
I could be wrong, but I
the hiatus, is that a word? Hiatus?
Hiatus? Hiatus.
Right, but
H-I-A-T-U-S.
what is he? What if he's on hiatus? Would
hiatus.
he's just on hiatus?
Ooh,
It's on hiatus, not a hiatus.
it's hiatus?
Yeah, it's just
It's
hiatus.
it's like the word kudos. This is an Andy Beyer pet peeve. It's kudos. It's not a plural. You don't give out multiple.
Oh.
You can have one kudo and you can have several kudos. Andy says it's not. It's a word, kudos.
Oh, interesting.
Greek word. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Oh, Andy's amazing. I mean, his understanding the English language, his grammar and stuff. But like, I used to sometimes give Andy the crossword puzzle, and the Saturday New York Times crossword puzzle. We were in Florida, and he could just finish it. And he doesn't even do crossword puzzles. He's smarter than he appears. Yeah, I don't know what to do with this horse. He left here in form that could easily win this race, right?
I would like to see Trevor be aggressive with him. I don't. He's not the speed, but I would like to see some
He
aggression.
doesn't really have any speed, though.
Yeah,
Anthony.
I don't know how much he has, but I'd like to see Trevor be aggressive with him. He's also a horse that I know they were for the figures were for Brad Cox and for Peter
once-
Miller, but he has races that, you know.
Oh no, he's got plenty of races. I gave him a long look.
I thought the prep was useful. I'm going
He
to
didn't
stick
do
with
any
the word
running,
useful.
though, Anthony.
Yeah, I know, but
That's
I don't
my
think
problem.
I don't think he's a sprinter, Andy. I just think he needs.
Yeah,
a
but
race.
he's better than that. I just wish he ran a little bit in that race. That's all.
That's fair
listen,
enough. It
by the
doesn't
way,
bother me that much. I can understand the
I've got a
bothering
horse
people.
that's not so easy to defend either. So, and believe me, I looked at this horse too. I think the general consensus is you want to pick somebody against the three. I have to pick Mucho Sunshine. I think this is a significant rider change to Jose Gomez. I don't know what happened at the start of this race, but something very weird happened with this horse at the start of the race. And he was supposed to be cruising on the lead. Now, whether or not you thought he was going to win, that's another
Different story, right.
But he was supposed to be the main speed. He's got a race stalking 3 back that's going to win this race. And then 2 races back, he had no shot in that field. No shot whatsoever against those horses. Now he drops back down. I thought I'll give him one more chance, and I like the rider switch to Jose Gomez.
Okay.
That's my story, and I'm sticking with it.
Sounds like you
Race number 3. So race number 3, you and I both have the same instinct in here, which is, I know it's Jeffrey Engelhardt.
I
who's been
almost
great
did
up
what
the
you did.
claim.
I almost went 1-5 and put this horse third.
I
wanted to.
I want to use both. I'm not going to deny that Never Early's the horse to beat. We'll take a look at his last race. But I don't like the horses that were behind him. I know they were a city block behind him. I get it. I don't trust the 60-ish figures that they got, Anthony.
So he's kind of Prisoner too, right? Prisoner was the horse that had the win.
Well, no,
This Prisoner
no.
had the win at the very least.
I mean, yes, but Prisoner began his career with an 85 Buyers, a
Right.
2-year-old.
No,
so you knew
right.
Prisoner was a
Could run.
legitimate stakes horse
Sure.
before, you know.
Could run, right. But along the same lines, where the horse ran well, this obviously Prisoner ran better in the maiden
a lot
special.
better.
A lot better. And then you see almost, Prisoner was over a year. This horse is almost a year. Comes back and he wins. And
Listen, I'm not he's the horse to beat. I just
do we? And I will defer to you. I mean, is that a real fig?
I said before, if you were listening, I said that the horses second and third behind it got figures. Here we go. Mr. JT, he ran 21 Beyer points worse in his next start. The third horse ran 14 Beyer points worse in his next start. The sixth horse, 8 Beyer points in his next start. So let's
if you clip 10,
let's say it's a dozen points.
Yeah.
It's early 70s. Now you've got a horse going to be a heavy favorite that's not better than the best races that the 2 horses that we have run. Now that's not
And
to
the
say
3
that,
even has a couple of borderline races that could be in the mix if you're knocking it down to the 72. Agree, right? I mean, that's
No, that's fair.
That's kind of what I did here. I was just I don't know if I necessarily believe the fig. I know what I do believe.
I think the figure is-
horses he beat. I know what they are.
Right. He beat him like
He
easily.
beat him like a drum, but I know what they are as well. So
You know what? Boss making boss moves. I have an opinion on boss making boss moves.
What's your opinion, Andy?
I didn't like his last race. I bet him last time. And
Okay.
I don't blame Trevor for this. No, I wonder what Trevor's thinking. I wonder if Trevor, in watching his last race, he doesn't seem like a grinder. He seems like a horse that you need to sit back and make one run with him. Because Trevor got him into position, and I don't have a problem with him. I never have a problem with being aggressive, and I don't have any problem with the way Trevor rides, but I just wonder if in putting him into grind position, he just didn't have a finish.
I wonder if the blinkers did something with that, made this horse a little. I mean, he wasn't
no,
sharp.
he was
Yeah,
he was back, and Trevor moved him up.
And I wonder if those were instructions, and I wonder now if they just decide to leave the blinkers on and say, you know what, let this horse settle at the back and make the one run again. That's what my mentality was. I'm hoping that they just revert to the old tactics. And
I listen. I don't agree with disagree with any of it. I absolutely think you win. Linda Rice had a win off the claim recently, so I'm going to get rid of that bad stat.
I am a little worried about the fact that the day he won, that thing just, Boss Making Boss Moves, the pace just completely fell apart.
That means that 77 is a little on the high side,
up as
close
well.
to
Yeah.
70-ish. But he's still, it's not like we trust the 6. I know it's Jeffrey Engelhard. He's
hard
run
to
well off
trust
the
that
claim.
horse.
How many of those horses were he claiming off of Rudy?
It's hard to trust that.
You know, and that's the thing.
Yep.
As far as Salippo, we'll take a look at his race 2 back at Parks. And the reason I'm dismissive of his last race here is it was a sloppy sealed track.
Yeah.
And he never seemed to be handled
Never handled it at all, not a step.
This horse ran huge here 3 races back when out of nowhere he ran that race with a 68 buyer at 28 to 1. This race, he just destroyed the field. I think this horse is pretty good. I actually think this was a good claim by Linda.
I think you're just looking to trying to get even for Lisa's booby trap and missing in Saratoga.
Lisa's booby
That's what I
trap.
think.
Eric missed her too.
That's fine. Eric's
Thank
not
God I
here.
had Eric.
Eric's not here and you're here. So.
Well,
You're
Eric's
going-
here.
you're going-
Eric's one of the most important people at NYRA. Are you kidding me?
No, he's not
Eric's
here
good.
today.
I know he's not.
Yeah.
So we should make fun of him because he's not here?
I'm not making fun of him.
No,
you're going to have to
you
take.
should
You're
make
going to
fun
have
of
to. You're
Eric
going to have
'cause
to
he's
hold
not
the
here today.
bag.
Not me, I'm
You're going to
here.
have to hold the bag. He's not
Eric.
here.
For those that don't know the story, when she debuted in Saratoga and she opened up a 1-9, a 5
to
horse
9.
field,
You opened up 1 to
I
9.
didn't have her in my top 4. She won by 100. And Eric made her 9-2 morning line. I was making a line. And he came over to me and he said to me, well, I guess we're the only 2 idiots in the entire. And then there was a huge story about it, the Connecticut Gazette. It was like everybody knew about the horse but us. Reincarnation of the trainer's dead wife, right? Wasn't that the story?
Yeah.
Something, yeah.
Yeah. That he named it a gentleman's cabaret.
No comment on that place.
You want the story? I've given you
I've
the
never
story.
been there, but I've heard from
I haven't
friends of
been
mine
there
about
either.
it.
But I'm just giving
Not
you
that
all
I
the-
consider myself above going.
I'm just giving you.
by any stretch of the imagination.
You make a great point.
But race number 4 kicks off the pick 6, carryover, $45,509. Is it me? We haven't had a carryover in a little
Been a while.
right? A few days, a couple weeks. I mean, you're only running 3 and 4 days, but still, it feels like it's been a couple, 2 to 3 weeks. So this race just changed inexorably when
This guy just hit me.
investment
This guy,
income.
did you bring your thesaurus up here today?
I don't have it. I have a thesaurus at home. I don't know where it is though.
You have a computer, you have a thesaurus. You have a laptop, you have a thesaurus. You have a calculator.
Thesaurus is a great word, by the way,
Here we go.
isn't it? It sounds like a dinosaur.
Yeah.
The thesaurus was the eloquent dinosaur. So without investment income here, look, if you want to bet against the horse, fine, but the horse is going to be a heavy favorite. And I think because the sequence is extremely tricky, races 5 and 9, at least to me, and I know you agree, we talked about it before the show, they're just wide open. There's no even significant horse to beat in either race.
I thought this horse was vulnerable.
Okay. But regardless of that,
Yes.
this was a horse that in a pick
Must-
6,
was the must
everybody was
use- was
leaning
the must
heavily
use
on.
on the- yeah,
it was
but-
it was one of the only leans.
One of the only leans. I don't disagree with that. Yeah. And now,
Because even the 7th race, people are going to use 2 and 6.
yeah, right.
And some
And I
lose
think
to
you
one
kind
as
of have
well.
to. Right. This race lost a lot of luster for me because I wanted to bet a few dollars on Belshazzar.
Why?
Well, I just thought I thought this horse needed the sprint to start, dropped in for the tag and stretched out and ran well enough. I know, it's 2-year-old Fig in November. You tried a horse on the dirt because
Well, the dirt races don't matter. I get
Right.
that. The problem with this horse is that the 2 who finished a half a length behind, I didn't go to Trackus. I could look at Trackus. I'll look during the commercial. I'm going to guess probably ran 40 to 50 more feet than this horse, conservatively. I mean, Belshazzar got as perfect a trip from Benji Hernandez as you could get in a horse breaking from the rail. Belshazzar, Masaba or whatever the hell's name, broke from post 9 and broke a half length slow, was 3 wide in the first turn, 3 and 4 wide in the second turn, and actually was running at the end. Now, I'm not thrilled with either one of these horses, but I think it's very hard based on that race to like the 5 over the 2. Now maybe there's a story on the 5.
No, I got no story. I just wanted the big. I wanted the
Brown.
bigger price. Those are the. I mean, I was going to use 5s and 8s, just assuming investment income could win. I wanted to bet a few dollars against her, but, and then I mean, Masiba is. Yeah, I want 2s and 5s now.
Ran so much better than the 5 did. Doesn't mean that she's going to beat her today.
Yeah, I like the fact that I know they weren't good dirt races.
Getting up Trackus to find that actually.
Okay, but I like the fact that Belashaza actually has a little recency on Masiba.
November 20th.
Yeah, November 20th.
Great to have Trackus on your phone.
Race 4, sir.
What time is it?
It's
what are we doing for time?
12:26.
Oh, we got to get moving.
Yeah, we got to get moving.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, Anthony. Say what you want. You're going to really tell me that Synonymous can't win this race?
No.
I mean, I know the horse isn't very good, but this horse has plenty of races that are significantly better or as good as the 2 and 5.
Yeah.
They have more upside, but this horse is going to get completely ignored. Why can't that horse win this race?
I guess you can. I guess you can.
I think she's a player in this race. And there's really not a lot of turf pedigree on Candlestick Maker.
No.
What day was that? That was November 20th, the 4th.
It was a Friday.
Was it a Friday? Yeah. No, I think it was Saturday. Saturday. 26th was a Friday because I just was doing the videos for that weekend. Was the Thanksgiving weekend.
Okay.
Okay.
You're right, actually.
But I only know because I was doing it last night for sending videos in. Okay. You ready? Belashaza ran 3 feet less than the winner. You ready? Masaba, 56 feet more than the winner. So it was 59 feet for what it's worth. It doesn't mean that the 2 is going to be the 5, but from a trip standpoint, the 2 ran a lot better in there.
Okay.
Race number 5, and this is the one that's so wide open in here. I mean, in some ways, Palace Gossip is the horse to beat because she's run well. You know, she ran against Mr. Caris. You know, she ran against some reasonable horses. Cocapella. She ran. Is she going to clear from the outside?
No.
Isn't Ready AP going to go?
Has to. Ready AP has to go, right?
I think.
That's
I mean,
what the
how
problem
is it going to
was.
be to clear Uncle's Gem? I think Jose Lozcano's supposed to go.
He's
got
to go, too.
The rails
Leave
are
for
out
position.
12 feet on the outer, so it's not the same inside as Leon.
I don't disagree.
But I mean, I think that horse is the horse to beat, kind of. You've got a 4th, I've got a 3rd, and we're trying to beat her in here. I wanted to show the Uncle's Gems race and Master of the Tunes, because Master of the Tunes actually appears to have run well in there. I don't know. I think of the 2 horses that Uncle's Gem ran the much better race, because, I mean, Johnny gave Master of the Tunes about as great a ride and trip as you could give, and the trip worked out perfectly, whereas Uncle's Gem was attending the pace a lot more, and this was a race that fell apart in the late stages. So I thought Uncle's Gem was wider, just ran a much better race. So of the 2, I would for Uncle's Gem. The problem with Uncle's Gem is she's got her share of chances, and Linda's layoff numbers just not spectacular.
Agreed. I mean, I put a second. So I left 1, 2, 3, 4. I left 7 horses open. I thought Rigby had a chance, didn't get in. So I left half the field open.
I have 5 open after.
And what I basically.
Who do you have open?
Well, I have 2, 3, 5, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, I missed. What did I miss about Sassy Melissa? I didn't like her at all.
I went to Sassy Melissa, and I know her turf figs are a little slow, but she has some recency on these horses. She has the race off the layoff.
Okay. And
that was the tiebreaker for me. I had a tough time with the race.
But she's not really good enough.
Well, I think she's borderline. And having the race under her belt, I think, is going to be an edge.
Okay.
So I sided with her, but like I said, I would, this is a big race today because the end of the pick 4, the end of the early pick 5, starts the late pick 5 in the pick 6. I mean, 6 horses, and I don't even know if I'm comfortable with 6 horses.
I don't like her, but that's fine. I mean, it's not like I'm not confused by this race because I am. What I'll say though is, I thought she got good up in Saratoga, and then I thought her form dwindled after Saratoga. So I wonder a little bit if that was the form she liked. But listen, she did run respectably in a sort of fake synth race last time. We'll see. I didn't love her, but I'm not gonna listen. It's hard to knock anybody in here. I mean, I don't really want Ready AP. It's really, there's some turf in the second. I know she's a more than Ready. but it's not really a turf pedigree, and it feels like Kristoff's running this horse in the turf because he kind of needs to. It's early in the season. She fits this race. Runner. She's not that good in the
You're
dirt.
a runner, and you try and find out if she can be
She's
a
not that
little
good in the
better
dirt
on
anyway.
turf.
It's not like she's going to win any big races on the dirt. I mean, Flip My Lid is that one race. I thought about putting her on top. I didn't. I ultimately went to the trip horse. I don't know if is it
Fontana
Freda. We'll tell the whole race that she ran last time she ran the grass on October 16th. She's the number 5 horse. I mean, this is a remarkable performance. She in the context of this race, she breaks slowly. Now, she got left in her first start, too. She did not get left last time. But look at her right here. She's completely held up in traffic. She's the blue horse, third from last, down on the inside. She stayed behind where she's lost all position in this race. And it's not just that. She is going to make this sort of slingshot-type move. I mean, look where she is now. And Louis, put her into a drive here. He probably would have been better off just being patient because he was so far behind the 8 ball that making this kind of move, it's just not going to work. So she's 3 wide right now, and she's going to make a huge slingshot wide move. Think of how much energy she had to expand to get here. And these are 2-year-old figs. So the fact that they're 10 points lower than some of the ones in a year or more doesn't bother me as much because she could easily improve 10 or more points.
It's also a big race for a 2-year-old.
Right. I'm saying, and by the way, she was best first time out. She got left, or she would have won that day. You say she hung at the end? Of course she hung. Think of how much she had to do to get there.
She ran for a half mile.
Right. Now, I'm not convinced she's good enough, but I decided ultimately to go with the trip horse in a race that I thought was wide open.
And I'll tell you this, too.
Tell me this.
You walking through that, I'm a little remiss that I didn't put her in the top 4.
Well, you said you thought 6 horses or 7 horses were open, so it's hard to put them all in.
I think the fact that she won, you watch her two turf races, it's clear she's a turf horse. And then she comes back and she runs a 66 off the turf and wins. I think it's pretty clear that she has some talent in there, and the fact that she won on the dirt is,
it's fair.
Is a testament to her talent.
I agree. We don't have a lot of time, so we're going to take a break. We'll be back for the late pick 4. We'll blow through the 7. Well, we'll be fine.
We'll be all right.
We got to be quicker because, go on, we're done.
Who you betting on? How about an app created specifically for horse racing? Naira Bets. We specialize in thundering hooves, fist pumping, and boosting your bankroll with robust weekly promotions. And offer betting tips from actual horse racing experts. Bet all day and night, nationwide. Get the action and thrill of horse racing with Naira Bets.
We're back. Anthony Stabile, Andy Serling, race number 6. This one we can do pretty quickly. Anthony and I were just talking off camera. Neither one of us has any. You can't look at this race and have strength, in your opinion. I watched Bird Ruler's race, comes out of a race. Now, once again, the never early race. Maybe the figure should be 30. Now, this figure matches up. The fact is, you couldn't close that day. That was a track that was very favorable to front runners, and they're knock on never early. This horse couldn't make up ground after that, has back races, is the horse to beat, hard to trust. A Light, who's 0 for 31, has been in good form. I guess the other horse, I don't have a strong opinion. I would probably, if I had to play a pick 5, use 2, 4, 5. I'm not guessing with Pat Reynolds, first time starter.
I did. Yeah, I had breakfast with him yesterday.
Wow. I hope you pick up the check.
I didn't know.
Okay. And
he didn't really have. That was it.
He didn't tell you.
He was the first person I saw this weekend.
He loves this horse.
No, he didn't say a word to me.
Okay.
But
listen,
I don't. I don't want the horses that are.
There's absolutely no pedigree to speak of in just either side. We'll see. I don't think there's a lot to say. I got no nuance.
There's nothing to say. Really. They named the 2 after us, but that was it.
What's the 2?
Question my sanity.
Well, a lot of people at the racetrack. A lot of people in life. Race number 7. I actually think that Make Mischief is an extremely likely winner this
You got the winner on the board, Andy.
Yeah, guys, there's 4 horses. You don't. Anyway, we'll take a look at Make Mischief running. I want to say 3rd last time. See, I think she ran sensationally in this race. This was a huge pace. She was right on top of it. She didn't fold her tent into the late stages. I thought she ran great. I know she's off a layoff, but Mark Cassie's numbers off layoffs aren't bad. 120 to 240 days in the dirt. He's 19%, 213 ROI. With Routers, he's 6 for 22 with a 422 ROI. So his numbers coming off of layoffs are solid. And I just think she's a significantly better horse than these horses, and I'm not going to try to beat her here.
She could-
Well, I would lean heavily on her because I need to lean somewhere, even though I get trying to beat her.
Yeah.
But the layoff
Like
is
you
they're
said,
not going
the
to.
5th and 9th, and then even that 6th race that we didn't have much to say about. I mean, there's just nobody trustworthy in there, so you kind of have to spread a little bit.
You have Sugar on top.
Yeah,
Cafe
I
Society.
went to Shug.
We'll show her,
I thought
last
last time,
race.
I bet on her. I needed her last time.
She got wired.
I thought, yeah, she got wired. And I think with the outside draw to short field now, I just think that she's
don't
she's
like her.
probably not better than the two, but again, it's recency. And I went. I thought about.
I get it.
putting-
She may be favored here.
Yeah. No.
I'm not so sure you're. David said to me he thought I wouldn't be shocked if she was favored.
Wow.
That's why I said it. That's why I felt more confident.
I think they're going to see this filly to test the Mother Goose, the Acorn, the 8 Bells, and she's only going to be 2 lengths.
They're going to
3
see
lengths.
Shug with a horse that's improving,
Maybe.
and as you say, has recency. Here's my problem. Her big win, she beat Milfoil. Milfoil's a disaster. Since she was second in the Demoiselle, she's been just a complete disappointment.
Where'd she run the other day?
She lost to Keeneland. She ran a bad second at 3-5
gonna be bad.
in an off-the-turf race.
She ran second in that
And
race.
default protection. I guess the question with her is, getting to a fast track, is she going to be as good as she was in a wet track? And obviously the competition has gotten tougher. I'm not going to be shocked if she runs well
No.
here because she's lightly raced, improving in a good barn, but she's not meeting Courageous Gal and Honey Money here.
Right.
These horses are as it gets. And that non-winners of 1 and non-winners of 2 is a monumental jump up.
Big jump.
And it actually is a relevant segue into race number 8, where the entry got doubly tough. And guys, we don't have to show the second replay of Kuramada, if you don't mind. Can we skip that one? I should have told you that at the beginning. I only had it in there in case Flopshot didn't get in. With Flopshot getting in, we'll show his last race. I understand he has been a significant money burner and arguably a bit disappointing. But this is second place down at down at Tampa last time. Flopshot, pretty okay. The horse that beat this horse came back and ran third in a stake at Gulfstream. I mean, it's not like this horse lost to a bad horse. This horse has run against better horses than these horses. I know the post isn't great. Flopshot is an hour the horse to beat, though, in this race, isn't he?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I don't have any confidence in him, and I don't like Chad Brown horses that are continuously running second. But he's run second in some pretty good horses.
Yes.
And better horse than he's facing today. You've got Karamata, who I don't particularly love. I don't know how good he is, but it is a little insurance. They're going to be pretty short here, aren't they?
Yeah.
Flopshot getting. I wonder if David's morning line is really 8-5, or if he hedged a little bit because he didn't know if Flopshot would get
Flopshot
in.
was gonna get in?
I don't know how you handle that. You know.
I don't either.
What do you do? You know, because Kuramata doesn't feel like an 8-5, right?
I would not be. I don't want Kuramadas in here.
You've
He
tried.
could win
You've
here.
tried this horse worth a shot.
Yes.
And we'll take a look at
By
his
appointment
last race.
only. A 4-race win streak that dates back to October 19th, 2019. How about that?
Not your kind of horse, Anthony.
Ran through. I'm sorry.
Not your kind of horse.
No, he's ordinarily not my kind of horse. But on the other side of me at breakfast yesterday morning was Horacio de Paz. So how could I not go with Pat Reynolds and Horacio de Paz? I'm not kidding, but I'm kidding.
Nice man.
You know, I would imagine he is going to. I wanted an alternative to the entry, and I would imagine he's just going to set up shop off of Famished.
What about Little Menace?
Well, let him sit off shop off both of them then. I mean, I guess Little Menace.
He deserves a lot of credit for showing up, but you're now talking about a horse that's making his third start in almost 2 years.
In over 2 years.
And the other thing is, he went through his New York bred conditions, not an easy thing to do. He beat Rinaldi. It's no nuts for bolts. Pretty amazing. We went from beating nuts for bolts to beating Rinaldi. And then he found a okay non-winners of 1. Once again, the jump from non-winners of 2 to non-winners 1 and non-winners 2 on the turf. This horse to run through all the conditions, I get it. I've got the horse third. I'm not. I will say one thing. When he runs, he shows up.
That's what it was. It's not like he's done this time and time again. So I have a little more confidence than I ordinarily would.
I'm going to use a couple other horses in this race. I
Okay.
like Highland Chief. I understand if you look at Highland Chief, that Highland Chief has been running in 12 furlong races, and this is a mile and a 16th. I'm not really sure that this horse is a true router, but he also lost to horses like Pile Driver and Mogul. I mean, this horse, Mogul. This horse ran second to Mogul. This horse is running against horses that are in a different universe than the ones that he's running against
Oh,
today.
yeah, not even close.
And the reality of this horse was he won his debut going 5.5 furlongs at Newbury as a 2-year-old. So it's not like we don't think this horse can run a little bit. I mean, he was only 5-1 in the Royal Lodge. He finished 3rd behind Pinatubo, who was the Godolphin 2-year-old
That's what I
killer
was
that
gonna
year.
say, right, yeah.
This horse has kept monster company, and Graham Motion has great numbers with European shippers. He's good off of long layoffs. Now, is it possible he wants to get a race in this belt and he's thinking Man of War, and he had to take the race that came up?
Right.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And maybe
That's
there
what
wasn't
I'm
a distance
thinking.
race at Keeneland, so he came here with a horse. That's a distinct possibility. The Man of War is probably coming up late, or it's probably the 14th, right? It's a week after the Derby, right?
Yep.
So he's got a month to it. So maybe he is prepping for that race, and he doesn't really care. I mean, he wants to win, but he doesn't really care and has to get a race into him. I'll tell you something else. If you like Kuramada, you're supposed to be betting on Kygo here, the 7. Watch the race where this horse finished 5th behind Kuramada. Kuramada had a little bit of trouble. This horse had significantly more trouble, and this horse is going to be a much bigger price. Now, Kuramada's also got the entry with Flopshot. But if you're somebody that said, oh, I wanted to bet Kuramada alone, I don't really like Flopshot.
Right, if Flopshot didn't get
Throw
in
the
here, you're
7 in
supposed
at
to
a
be
big
using
price
Kygo.
because, and do yourself a favor and watch the Tampa race. And I think you'll probably agree with me that if you think Kuramada's okay out of that race, you're supposed to think Kygo's good because, and I don't love Kygo, but I mean, I know he was dragged along by the races. Races aren't that bad.
Right.
You know, before last time where he ran at 1 3/8, where he doesn't want to go that far, even though he's a German horse. Race number 9. With the 14 not getting in, there's nobody in this race that has any form.
0.
And so what happened to the Hot Bar and the Weavers? You're not using George Weaver here? How could you leave your man George Weaver out after you
Oh, the
made a hit
5.
the other day? Well, I don't understand. I mean, I thought I was going to horse on top because of what you were right. I mean, the guy's won 7 of 8 races in April.
I slept this. You're right.
I was shocked you didn't have this horse in.
Those was a have to.
Red Vine.
He's in my favorite picture of all time.
He lost to Tonalist in the
what he did. He's in
that
Matouf.
Chad horse for Shadwell
Matouf.
ran well in there.
Matouf. He's still running.
Is he?
Or he was still running up until last fall.
Scary.
He was at Oaklawn.
You know, merger of equals, and I don't know anything about merger of equals, but merger of equals was entered in the race on the day we canceled, on the dirt, obviously, and is now coming
That's
back on
why
the
the
turf.
name was
yeah,
familiar.
it's hard
Okay.
it's hard to be confident about this horse having been entered on the dirt. Doesn't mean a horse like the 1 is dangerous. Smoking Hot Kitty, I have to Phantom Smoke.
Phantom Smoke, yeah.
But Phantom Smoke is Ghost Zapper. This is a Kitten's Joy. I wonder what Kitten's Joy's record is in turf sprints.
Yeah, maybe a little more ground. I think you have to respect, like with very little form to go
They got
off
to use the 1.
And you're right, I slept the 5 here.
When I
Thank
did
you.
tell you didn't have the 5 in there, I'm like, did somebody tell Anthony the 5 has 3 legs?
No.
And I by the way, I get the 5 looks terrible for the last race, but so did the horse that won that you liked
Yeah.
on Sunday.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're
Cutting
going to use
back,
that
yep.
horse, you got to use this horse. You got to use her.
Yeah,
I mean, she may not be able to run.
thank you.
Okay. There's some turf pedigree. Royal Dancer. I don't know if I want a War Dancer going 6 furlongs, but this horse has some turf
Yeah,
pedigree.
2 of the 5 siblings.
Who do you have
that
on
ran
top?
on turf. I went to
You went the one
Belarus.
without turf pedigree.
Yeah.
Okay, go have at it.
I'm hoping, this horse is a half to Admonson and Winner's Laugh.
Correct.
A couple of fast horses.
Correct.
And this horse has shown no speed.
Correct.
Let's see if Jose Ortiz and the Surface Switch can wake this horse up a little bit. Maybe we put this horse on the front end today.
That's why you like this horse.
Surface Switch.
This horse is not
change
bred for the
to
turf, though.
Jose.
The one horse that won on it ran a 76 buyer. It was a Munnings. It's a Sky Mason. Okay.
Forgot to take my allergy pill today.
Well, that wasn't smart.
No, I know.
You don't take it right away in the morning? I take an allergy pill
forgot,
every day in the
I just
morning.
told you I forgot.
You know who else has pedigree? A little bit for turf? The bottom. That's why I'm here. Why I'm me. It's a funny name.
The Bruce Grossman horse, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm me.
As far as crosstalk, at the end of the day, you know this horse has some speed. She ran against decent horses first time out in the dirt. It's a Temple City, so she's supposed to be better on the turf. She's a half to a turf winner who ran at Byers in the 70s. Just fair, nothing special, but okay. You know the horse can be forward. And just thought this was sort of the logical horse that at least run well enough. And I think as a Temple City is supposed to prefer moving to the turf.
Okay.
By the way, there's a horse that I looked at the pedigree from. It's either running here in the next couple of days, or I was a Keeneland pedigree I was looking at. I think it's here. That was a 3-quarter. Because we were having a discussion about 3-quarter siblings. Same dam, and the sires were, yeah.
Both,
it's in the next couple of days.
grandsires.
I'll text you the horse
Okay.
if I can find it in my
Anything else?
my illegible notes. No, I'm looking forward to the card. I think it's a really interesting card today. I really do.
It's
I
a
think
tough.
there's
It's
tough.
there are some tough races
Well,
on this
even
card
the
today.
7th race, which has 4 horses. I actually let Linda's horse, she scratched, because Linda has to have at least 1 scratch a day. A scratch a day keeps what away? But I mean, I think 3 of the 4 horses in there can win that race. You've got the layoff with the 2. I don't totally trust 6, though maybe she's going to win. And I'm not sure the 1 can't step forward and win that race. I don't think it's not like it scratched and it went, oh, it got easy. It didn't get easy.
No.
The scratches made it harder, the sequence.
Make a great point.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it. You need some more keys over there. Yeah, I think your thing is bigger than the keys. What's going on there? Anyway.
For the car? Yeah, it's supposed to be.
That's right. I don't have a car, so I wouldn't know about those kind of things.
The fob, I think it's called. A fob.
That would be correct. It is a fob.
My fob.
It's been fabulous. It's been fabulous.
My
being
fob
here
is
with you
bigger than
today.
your fob?
Okay, let's head over to Naira Bets. If you're not a member of Naira Bets, go to nairabets.com. Use the promo code STAKES200. Sign up for Naira Bets. Play through Naira Bets. Keep your money in the game. Also, we've got $15 bonus. You bet 50 or more at Aqueduct and Turf Paradise. Win or lose. Opt in at Naira Bets for that. We have the contest.
$300 buy-in. It's registration open till tomorrow at 5, naira.com / thank you, Franny, contests.
Yep. Live money contest. A lot of fun to play.
A lot
them.
of fun.
Also a pick 6 carryover today, by the way. $45,509 starts in race 4. We have Belmont Stakes tickets next.
sir.
Yes, they're on sale. Head over to BelmontStakes.com. Lots of good stuff going on there. And last but not least, we are on from 1 to 6 today, covering all the action here.
You know what's a lot of fun about the contest? My buddy Jay played the contest for the first time on Saturday.
Okay.
And apparently there was a tip on that Abreu first that came flying in the 3rd race to finish 2nd.
That's right. Well,
I didn't know, but I didn't hear about anything till late in the game.
Richie liked that horse in the paddock.
He hit the triple.
Well, there you go. Right.
And you can play the triple in the contest. How
yeah.
fantastic
You know
is
that?
that? I knew that,
Live
but
money
it
contest.
doesn't dawn on you until you
Can
hit
you not play
it.
multi-race bets or just doubles?
I don't know. That I don't
I
know.
don't know
I
the
just know he
exact rules.
sent
I'm
me.
sure they're
He
on.
sent,
Look at Naira. Yeah.
he sent me. He's like, not bad for my first contest. And he
betting.
had 2 dimes in there after the 3rd race.
It's betting acumen. It's the more important than handicapping
It's
is
a lot of
betting
fun.
acumen.
Of course. Of
Picking
course.
winners is one thing. Knowing how to bet is a completely different animal.
You know who has a lot
More
of
important.
acumen? Johnny I.
I don't know.
Even though he's a Yankees fan.
Even though he's asking you questions, you could just as easily text me and ask me.
He's a Yankees fan, but we won't hold it against
They lost
him.
last night, right? Ken Griffey had 3. Not Ken Griffey. Vlad Guerrero had 3. I'm looking at Ken Griffey. I saw a
Vlad
picture.
Jr.,
He had 3 home runs.
Mets won last night.
I know.
Yesterday
It took 5
afternoon.
games for Jimmy Riccio to
Just
to
5?
whine on Twitter about
Oh,
the
Monday. I
Mets.
was flipping out Monday. I whined Monday.
It's a 162-game season. The Mets will have games when they come back from 3 or 4 runs down late. Every team is going to blow some games. Every team's going to win a few games. 162-game season, that's the beauty of baseball. You get the whole gamut of frustration and
Sometimes
excitement.
you win, sometimes you lose, sometimes it
Mets
rains.
look good. How can you not be happy with how they look?
I am too.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Were you upset that they took Kershaw out? We got to go. We're done. Johnny I, up next. Bye.
Neville Henry, please contact the Clerk of Scales. Hello, racing fans, and once again, welcome to Aqueduct. And it's a beautiful day here at the Big A with the temperature in the 70s. Sunny skies, the main track fast, the turf course is firm. Portable rail is up at 12 feet on the outer turf and no portable rail in use on the inner. And in today's first race, scratch number 3, spiked. Scratch the 3, spiked. There'll be no show, trifecta, or superfecta wagering. No changes in the second. And no changes in the third. The fourth race starts the pick 6. We have a carryover today of $45,509. And in race 4, scratch 1, Lord Hear My Prayer, part of an entry. Scratch 6, Open the Gate, and 8, investment income. Fourth race, scratch numbers 1, 6, and 8. In the fifth race, scratch 13, Rigby, and 14, Captivating Cara. Race 5, scratch 13 and 14. A jockey change in race 6 for number 6, Irie Spice. The rider is Raul Mena. Raul Mena on the 6, and the weight is 118. In today's 7th race, there'll be no show, try, or super. Scratch 3, Hybrid Eclipse, and 4, Exotic West. 7th race, scratch 3 and 4. In today's 8th race, scratch the 1, So High, part of an entry. Scratch 12, Space Launch, and 13, Southern District. Scratch 1, 12, and 13. Note that number 5, Highland Chief, runs with a cheek piece off. Cheek piece off, number 5, Highland Chief. And in the 9th race, scratch the also eligibles. 13, Cabernet Trail, through the 16, Cindy's Choice. Scratch 13, 14, 15, and 16 out of the 9th. Main track fast, turf courses firm. Pick 6 carryover, more than $45,000. The Thursday opener at Aqueduct in 27 minutes at 1:20.
How does horse racing support New York's economy? It's responsible for 19,000 jobs and more than $3 billion in annual statewide economic impact. These good-paying jobs support working families across the state and sustain thousands of small businesses both on and off the track. Horse racing in New York means jobs and opportunities now and in the future. We are New York Horse Racing.
Who you betting on? How about an app created specifically for horse racing? Naira Bets. We specialize in thundering hooves, fist pumping, and boosting your bankroll with robust weekly promotions. And offer betting tips from actual horse racing experts. Bet all day and night, nationwide. Get the action and thrill of horse racing with Naira Bets.